The great hall of the Galactic Council stood silent as Elder Vorath rose from his ancient seat. His four eyes scanned the thousands of representatives gathered from across the known universe. Species of all shapes and sizes filled the chamber. Some floated in liquid tanks. Others perched on elevated platforms designed for their unique bodies. The air smelled of mixed atmospheres and recycled oxygen. Vorath had lived for 900 years. He had witnessed the rise and fall of 17 civilizations. He had seen wars that burned entire star systems to ash. But nothing in his long memory frightened him more than the small blue planet called Earth. "I come before this council with a warning," Vorath said. His voice echoed through the chamber. "The humans have discovered faster than light travel. They will reach our borders within 3 solar cycles." Laughter erupted from the Crixian delegation. Their leader, a tall creature with sharp teeth and golden scales, stood up and pointed at the elder with obvious amusement. "You waste our time with stories of primitives," the Crixian leader said. "These humans live on a death world. They fight among themselves like animals. They cannot even unite their own species under one government. What threat could they possibly pose to the mighty Galactic Council?" Several other delegations nodded in agreement. The Melvini, known for their advanced technology, waved their tentacles dismissively. The Zorathi, proud warriors who had conquered 100 worlds, laughed at the very idea of fearing such young creatures. But the elders did not laugh. They sat in their high seats with heavy expressions on their faces. They alone remembered the ancient warnings passed down through generations. They alone had studied the Forbidden archives that spoke of a species unlike any other. "You do not understand," Vorath continued. "The humans are not like us. They are not like any species we have ever encountered. Their planet tried to kill them from the moment they evolved. Extreme temperatures, deadly predators, poisonous plants, diseases that would wipe out any of our civilizations in days. And yet the humans survived. They did not just survive. They conquered their world." A young representative from the Nelvari collective raised her hand. Her blue skin glowed with curiosity. "Elder Vorath, with respect, many species have survived harsh conditions. The Crixians evolved on a volcanic world. The Zorathi came from a planet with constant storms. What makes humans so different?" Vorath closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He had hoped someone would ask this question. Perhaps then they would finally understand. "The humans have something we do not possess," Vorath explained. "They call it many names. Stubbornness, determination, will. But those words do not capture its true meaning. When a human decides to do something, they do not stop. They do not surrender. They do not accept defeat. They will break their own bodies. They will sacrifice their own lives. They will watch their friends die beside them. And still, they will keep fighting." The chamber fell quiet. Some of the younger delegates shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "I have studied their history," Vorath continued. "They once walked across an entire continent of frozen ice simply because they wanted to see what was on the other side. They built ships and sailed across deadly oceans with no guarantee of survival. When their own planet tried to burn them with radiation, they did not hide underground like sensible creatures. Instead, they built machines to harness that very radiation as a weapon." The Crixian leader scoffed loudly. "Weapons mean nothing. We have weapons that can destroy entire planets. Our warships number in the millions. If these humans threaten us, we will simply eliminate them." Elder Thraxis, the oldest of all the elders, finally spoke. His voice was weak with age, but his words carried weight that silenced even the arrogant Crixians. "That is exactly what the Vorthani thought," Thraxis said. 8,000 years ago, long before any of your civilizations existed, the Vorthani Empire stretched across half the galaxy. They encountered a small species on a remote planet, a species that had barely invented fire. The Vorthani laughed at them. They called them primitive. They saw no threat. Thraxis paused and looked around the chamber. The Vorthani decided to enslave them. They took thousands of these creatures from their world. They forced them to work in mines and factories. They treated them as nothing more than animals. What happened? The Nelvari representative asked. The slaves rebelled, Thraxus answered. Not once, not twice, but continuously, for 300 years. They learned the Vorthani language. They studied their technology. They found weaknesses that the Vorthani did not even know existed. And when they finally broke free, they did not simply escape. They hunted down every Vorthani ship, every colony, every outpost. They did not stop until the Vorthani Empire was nothing but dust and memories. Several delegates gasped. The Vorthani were legendary. Their ruins still dotted hundreds of worlds. But no one knew what had destroyed them. Those slaves, Thraxus said slowly, were the ancestors of the humans. The chamber exploded with noise. Delegates shouted questions and accusations. Some called the elders liars. Others demanded proof. The Crixian leader slammed his fist on his platform. Impossible. The humans are young. They only discovered space travel 2 centuries ago. Because we quarantined their system, Vorth replied calmly. After they destroyed the Vorthani, the survivors of that ancient war surrounded Earth with energy barriers. We locked them on their planet. We erased all records of their existence from the archives. We hoped they would destroy themselves through their constant wars. The silence that followed was deafening. But they did not destroy themselves, Vorth continued. Instead, they grew stronger. Every challenge made them more determined. Every setback made them more creative. While we stagnated in comfort, they pushed forward. They built rockets and reached their moon with technology less advanced than what you carry in your communication devices. They cured diseases that had plagued them for millennia. They split the atom and harnessed the power of stars. And now, they have broken through our barriers. The Council Chancellor, a massive being of pure energy, flickered with concern. What do you propose we do, Elder Vorth? Vorth looked at the Chancellor with sadness in his ancient eyes. I propose we make peace. I propose we welcome them as equals. I propose we treat them with the respect they deserve. Because if we do not, if we threaten them or attack them or try to enslave them again, we will face the same fate as the Vorthani. The Crixian leader burst out laughing again. He turned to his delegation with amusement. The old fool has lost his mind. We have conquered 100 worlds. Our fleet is the most powerful in the galaxy. I say we strike first. We destroy their planet before they become a true threat. Many delegations agreed. The Zorathi demanded war. The Melvini offered their weapons technology. Even some of the peaceful species voted for a preemptive strike. The fear in the chamber had turned to anger. They would rather fight than admit they were afraid. The vote passed by a significant majority. The Galactic Council declared war on humanity. The elders could only watch in horror. 3 solar cycles later, the combined fleet of the Galactic Council approached the Sol system. 10 million warships gathered at the edge of human space. It was the largest military force ever assembled in galactic history. The humans sent 1 ship to meet them, a single small vessel that was dwarfed by even the smallest council cruiser. The Crixian leader laughed when he saw it on his view screen. They send 1 ship? Do they not understand they are about to die? A communication request came from the human vessel. The council flagship accepted it. A human face appeared on the screen. It was a female with dark skin and calm eyes. She wore a simple uniform with no medals or decorations. My name is Admiral Chun, she said. I represent the United Human Federation. We know about your vote. We know you have come to destroy us. Then you know your time has ended, the Crixian leader replied. Surrender now, and we will make your deaths quick. Admiral Chun smiled. It was not a smile of fear or surrender. It was the smile of someone who knew something others did not. Our ancestors told us stories about the stars, she said. They warned us that one day, old enemies would return. We have been preparing for this moment for 8,000 years. Every war we fought among ourselves taught us new tactics. Every disease we survived made our medicine stronger. Every challenge we faced made us better. She leaned forward, and her eyes seemed to pierce through the view screen. We did not break through your barriers by accident. We broke through when we were ready, when we were strong enough. You see 10 million ships and think you have the advantage. We see 10 million ships and know exactly how many we need to destroy. The view screen flickered. Behind Admiral Chun, thousands of human warships appeared out of nowhere. They had been cloaked, hidden, waiting, and they were not alone. Ships from dozens of species flew alongside them. Species that the Council thought were extinct. Species that humanity had freed from the Vorthani. Species that remembered who had saved them all those millennia ago. The Vorthani made the mistake of underestimating us once, Admiral Chun said. You have made the same mistake. But unlike the Vorthani, I am giving you one chance. Leave now. Return to your worlds. Tell your governments that humanity has returned. Tell them we do not want war. But if war is what you bring to us, war is what you will receive. And we do not lose wars. The Crixian leader opened his mouth to respond, but before he could speak, 100 Council warships disappeared from his sensors. They had not been destroyed. They had been captured. Human boarding parties had taken them in seconds. The battle that followed lasted only 3 hours. The greatest fleet in galactic history was reduced to scattered debris. The humans did not use planet-destroying weapons. They did not commit genocide. They simply defeated their enemies with precision and skill that should have been impossible. The Crixian leader was captured alive. He was brought before Admiral Chun in chains. Why? He asked. Why did you spare us? We would have killed every human on your planet. Admiral Chun looked at him with something that might have been pity. Because we are not like you, she said. We do not destroy. We build. We do not enslave. We liberate. We did not survive 8,000 years of isolation to become the monsters you feared. We became something better. She turned to the guards. Take him to the Council. Tell them the elders were right. Humans are unstoppable. But not because we love destruction. Because we refuse to give up on anything, including peace. The news spread across the galaxy within days. The Galactic Council dissolved. In its place, humanity helped build something new. A true alliance of equals where every species had a voice. Where the strong protected the weak. Where war was a last resort, not a first response. The elders finally rested easy for the first time in millennia. Their warning had not been heeded, but perhaps that was necessary. Perhaps the galaxy needed to see what humanity was truly capable of before they could accept them as friends. And somewhere on Earth, children still looked up at the stars and dreamed of adventure. They did not know the history. They did not know the war. They only knew that the universe was vast and full of wonders. That was the human spirit. Unstoppable, unkillable, eternally curious and eternally hopeful. The galaxy had tried to contain them. The galaxy had tried to destroy them. And now, the galaxy would learn to embrace them. Because humanity was finally home among the stars where they had always belonged.